a little update video on the Rebel 250. It's all licensed, ready to go. Still needs inspected. Should pass at this point. I put new brakes on it. Front, back. Well, no, I didn't do the back. Back are fine. I checked them. New front brakes. New speedo cable. I had to get a different headlight. And I got a 5-inch. Because it's more like vintage style. The bike's pretty close to vintage antique 86. Made these highway pegs / crash bar. Boom. Look at that. Got my Crocs on. There's Piston for you. Piston. Say hi. Hi. Yeah. Got a helmet. Got my old motorcycle jacket out from a long time ago. I've had that for a long time. Anyways, I put new bar end mirrors on. These things are way better than stock. This little magnetic phone bag is super awesome. Put my ammo cans on there for some storage. Put my front bag on there. That's literally pretty much where I put my coffee or my Gatorade or whatever I got at the time in there. Put my coffee in a thermos, fits in there perfectly. Threw on some bar risers. Threw on some old Ford handlebars. But they look better than them pretzel bars that were on there. So with the highway peg thing, man, them things right here, for as small as this bike is when I'm sitting on it, I get cramped right here, so I made them highway pegs so I could stretch out. They're awesome. I love cruising this thing with them highway pegs. They also re-geared it down to a 30-tooth rear, and it still pulls nice, and I can hit. Fastest I've had this so far was, I mean, I don't know how accurate the speedometer is, but I had it pegged at 85. But with 30-tooth on the back, I can cruise it at 60, 65, nice. 70 is easy. Starts getting up there in the RPMs around 70, but it'll cruise 70, 75. So it hangs up there in the RPMs, but it'll do it. But it's nice cruising at 55, 60, 65 now with that sprocket. So that was a pretty cool upgrade. So this thing's been super fun so far. Pretty awesome little bike that I got. I put 383.8 miles on it since I've owned it and got it running. So this is one of the coolest payments I got for work I did. I started blacking things out. This was chrome. This was chrome. I made this out of diamond plate and painted it. These were chrome all the way back. There was a seat here. I took the seat off, put this little rack on there because my wife don't like it, and she said she'll never ride on it, which is fine. It's only a little 250. So when I get a bigger bike, I'll make her ride on it. She's gonna like it, damn it. So put reflectors all over the back because I watched way too many videos of guys getting rear-ended at night. So not even at night, in the daytime, anytime. So I just want to be seen. Got the Jardines on there. See, a lot of guys said that 30-tooth sprocket would be a bad upgrade because you can't speed up. You can do 55 as long as there's no headwind, and you got to keep downshifting to fourth to maintain 55. Well, that's bullcrap. I don't know if it's because of these Jardines, but I can cruise this thing at 60, 65 and fifth and still pull it. It'll still pull up to 80, 85 fine. It's awesome. The only thing that it lacks really is power uphill. Like, for the most part, it'll do inclines nice, but if you got, I mean, I live in a valley, so there's a big mountain coming out everywhere. Piston likes my bike too. So to come out of the valley and go up any 4 of the mountains in every direction, there's Burndale Hill up there, that hill over there, going to Other Town, another hill that way, another hill that way. and they're all pretty steep. But now that I put the 30 tooth on there, I can actually maintain the speed limit up those hills in fourth, because now I can cruise 55 in fourth gear. So I don't know what everybody was talking about with it not having the power for a 30 tooth rear sprocket, but mine has the power for it. I don't know if it's because of those Jardines, maybe giving a little more oomph. Cadillac. Sorry. Yeah, but it's awesome. I'm having a blast on this thing. I will probably, if I can't get the wife into it, then I'll probably have this on the market next year, because although I'm having a ton of fun on this thing and I love cruising it around, I'm definitely aiming for a bigger bike now for long distance purposes, because my buddies always want to go like hours and hours away, and which I know this will do it, but they like cruising at like 70, 75 a lot, and this bike's pretty well screaming at 75. I mean, it'll pull up to 80. I bury that speedometer past 85, but it starts screaming at about 75. So Piston said that I should look into getting a bigger bike in a year or so, because this thing is fun enough that I might just keep it for another year, because it is towards the end of this year. Next year, if I keep it, I could definitely deal this bike for another year, but it will be coming up for sale, so watch for it on Marketplace if you're interested. Thing's an awesome little 250. I've heard of guys buying these 250s, 27,791 miles, supposedly, but I just replaced a speedo cable, and we don't know how long it was, so miles are really unknown. That thing runs awesome. There's no top end noise, no valve train noise, no bottom end noise, no oil leaks, and it just fires right up. Pretty awesome bike. Right, Piston? Right, Piston? Yeah? Yeah. Pretty cool for being a 250. But like I said, I know some people that bought, one of my buddies bought a Suzuki 250, and he hated it. But he was expecting a lot more. He was expecting like, 100 miles an hour on it. I, on the other hand, knew, and I told him, Mike, that's who it was. Hey Mike, if you're watching. He was gonna go get this 250, and I told him, if you're gonna be disappointed with a 250, dude. And he went and got the 250. He was disappointed with it, got rid of it almost immediately. Long story short, I know a bunch of people that said, oh, 250s are slow, they're turds, whatever. And I know what a 250 is. I've been around four-wheelers and dirt bikes my whole life. But this little parallel twin 250, I mean, I got it expecting to cruise it up to the store and maybe down my dad's here and there and just ride around back roads. But man, I'll tell you what, this little 250, I did not expect the speed that this thing can carry. I was expecting it to be topping out at like 55, 45, 55 max. And even with a 33 tooth, I was pulling 60, 65 on it fairly easily. And I was impressed. And I ended up doing the 32 rear sprocket. And I'm going to tell you what, I am impressed with this little 250. It's not bad at all. So that's it. That's it right there. Look at that thing. Well, 1986 Rebel 250. And I got my little ammo cans. This one kind of broke, so I kind of rigged it with this little cotter pin. I'll just show you what I got going on here. My little cotter pin, because this broke, but I made it work. So in this one, I'm keeping spare shirt, tools, rags, spare, what is that, bungee cord. Yeah, lights in here. Little toolkit, big tool roll, toolkit, anything I need. So that's cool. So this one pretty much just stays closed for the most part, because what's going on here? Okay. Oof. And then I just put that down there and put this pin in there like so. Like, where is it? Oh, I can't do it one-handed anyways, I'll do it here. Excuse me, and this one pretty much goes. And I got these little cords in there for if I want to put anything on my rack. Got my riding shades, nose blowers, knowers. I don't have a USB on here, but I got these things. This one's really a good one. It's awesome. This one, it's okay. It'll give you like quarter battery. This one will fully charge your phone with power left over. And I got a pen in there and Sharpie just in case. A padlock if I ever need to lock stuff up somewhere. And then I'd usually throw my smokes, my wallet, anything out of my pockets, my keys go in there. Phone slips in here like so, like this, inside. But this thing is cool. It's really on there too. It's just a magnet, man. It says Honda, by the way. Honda. So yeah, this little bag's pretty cool. It's really on there too. I've done 80 in this thing over bumps and stuff, just trying to blow this off and it won't come off. I added this in case it does blow off. It just goes around the gas tank and then you cinch it down. That way if it does happen to blow off, it flails around like crazy and you notice it before it hits the road. So you have a little 250 that could. A little 250 that does it. It's awesome. It's fun. Went riding with my buddy's Harley 88. Oh, what was that, about a month ago? Well, the very first ride I had this out. Not the first ride, but the first actual ride, not to the store and back. We went around, what did we do? 38, 39 miles that day, according to my Speedo. So, it's flawless, runs flawless. Cool little bike. I'm actually now, because I really like the looks of this bike, and I keep looking at bigger bikes, and I'm thinking, you know, I don't have to do, I'm not really a speed demon. I don't ever see me going over like 90 or 100 on a bike, but I really like the way this Rebel 250 looks, like just the way it looks, like the whole, like, I don't know, it just looks like an old cruiser to me. So I'm kind of thinking about getting the Rebel 450, and I actually already have a guy that I've been talking to about one. It needs a little bit of work. I'm reluctant to buy it because I know they only made the 450s for 2 years, 86, 87. But they look exactly the same as this, but scaled up. They're slightly taller, slightly longer, bigger displacement, 38 horsepower versus, I think these are 18. A little 18 horsepower, man. I can't believe this thing pulls 70 as easy as it does. Past 70, it takes a little while to get up to 85, but it'll do it. Just not uphill. But it will do it in a crosswind. So, I don't know what all them guys were talking about. Oh, downhill with a wind at your back, you could probably hit 70. I don't know, mine hit 70 even without that 30 tooth. Now it hits 70 easier. And still pulls up through. Not very fast, but it does pull up through. So I'm impressed with this little bike. And I think my dad had this bike on his channel for a second when it had the old mirrors and a lot more of the chrome still on it. I'm not a chrome guy. If it were me, I'd paint that motor black, paint them shock lowers black. I'd paint the rims black, wheels, whatever you call them, rims on a bike, I guess. And I'd leave the exhaust chrome and the springs chrome, and that's pretty much it. Maybe some of the chrome stuff up here, just for a little bit of chrome. I'd be alright with like that being chrome, the bezel around there, like that being chrome and those being chrome, and that's it. I'm not a chrome guy, but for now it looks good. I like it. So I'm not disappointed at all. I actually wanted this bike. I bugged Kevin for this bike for a couple years, kept asking when he's going to sell it, and finally did that work to his Ranger, and we made a deal on it, and here she sits. So awesome form of payment. Heck yeah. So I got the modular helmet because I just didn't feel right in a half helmet. I've never ridden motorcycles on the road before, so I just feel more secure, at least for the time being, in that full. I actually don't really see me going to a half helmet now because I actually really like that full face modular. So that's my little video. Look, there's Offset. Hey, Offset. Yeah, and there's the old blaster. Toasted. That motor is toast. It's like went through 7 top ends on that. And that bottom end's bone stock 87. So it held up for a long time, but that rod is no good. So it either needs a new rod or I'm just going to replace the motor. And I actually just sold my 400 today. It is no longer here. So, good kid too. I gave him a really good deal on it because this kid that I sold my 400 to, he's a good kid. I wanted 2,200 for it, but I sold it to him for 16 because I want him to have it. I want him to have something nice. He's a hard-working, good kid. So I gave him a deal on it. And it's not paid off, but we made an agreement. He gave me $1,000 down, and the rest he will be giving me within 30 days. And if not, I will claim back possession of the bike and refund him his money. But the 4-wheeler's gone. I'll probably use that money to get a little dirt bike or something. And then I'll probably cruise this around for a while next year and probably put it up for sale and get a bigger bike. Maybe a 450. Who knows? Maybe a Shadow. I don't know. We'll see when the time comes. 86 Rebel 250 video. Thanks for watching my update video. So neat little bike. Coolest form of thing that I ever got. Hits me pretty good. Fuck in my gut. GPS my next little adventure. And go out for a cruise. So I always think about filming. Every time I did some of this, and my mower and everything else, I always thought about filming it. And then before I knew it, I was done. And I was like, why didn't you film that? I don't know. I'm working on it. I don't know what we'll get into next. Maybe a Rebel 450. Maybe we'll fix this blaster. I don't know. It's hard to tell what we'll do. But my 86 Rebel 250. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you watched it all the way through and if you liked it, awesome. If you didn't like it, I don't know why you watched it. You could have watched something else. So that's it for this video, and I will see you next time.